3 days have gone by. We've lived a lot of life in those 3 days. No, I don't know. And we're going to move this wine to be into a jug with an airlock. So I have been checking it each day and not exactly stirring it, but just kind of doing this. And it smells really good, sweet, and like it's fermenting, and the yeast are definitely active. I don't know if they utilize the elderberries for any of their needs, but that will remain a mystery. So now we have our jug, or carboy, I guess is this also called, and we have a airlock and this rubber stopper with the hole that the airlock fits in. So usually in the winemaking and beer, all those realms, you're supposed to sanitize with some kinds of stuff that we've never used. So I just wash it. Well, it's been washed with soap and water before we ever put this jug away, and I'm just gonna rinse it out with some hot water. Just probably don't even really need to do that. In our very clean sink that, well, it works out for us to not use all kinds of sanitation stuff, so soap and water is our way, and not even soap today, but it had soap in the past. Relic of soap and current water. Okay. Now I have this good funnel that I got once at a beer supply store. It has this very, very, very fine screen that sticks into it. It makes it take a long time to strain whatever into the vessel, but none of the particulate ends up in there. So that's what we're doing now.
Hello?
That's what we're doing. We're straining this wine. My hands are clean. I just do this. See, we're just squeezing out all the juices. Okay, that's the last bit. So it, even on my gentle boil, a lot boiled out. Now we're gonna add the pound of raisins. So I'll just measure the pound of raisins and put them into this. I love raisins though too. Oh, well, okay, good enough. You want some? You get them? Raisins are all in, the brew is in, and then I'm just gonna add the stopper. I'm gonna add a little water into this thing, just so it, it's supposed to even itself out between those lines. And there we go. And it should, all go into one side. If it doesn't, something's a little bit up with it. So now we're just gonna leave this, and I usually just wrap a towel around the jar so that light doesn't get into it too much, and I put it on a plate because it often goes all over the place a little, but this seems a bit lower than normal. Like it probably boiled out a bit more this year than maybe some other years, so hopefully it won't all start bubbling out, but I'll put it on a plate anyway, and then we'll be done for today. It's all in, and we have the airlock fitted and covered from the light, and we're just gonna leave it, and we'll come back to it in the morning and just check that it's bubbling. But I already did see it. I see a bubble coming, so it's looking pretty good. But we'll just check that it's really doing its thing.
Bubble.
Yeah, it's bubble. You see? Look, the bubble's coming. It's coming. It's coming.
Bubble.
Yeah. Yes.
Bubbles.
I don't really need to say anything else, but we have the wine here after the night has passed, and we can tell that the fermentation is going. And if all is well, the speed of the bubbling will just increase and increase until it reaches
Bubble.
a fever pitch, I guess, and then it'll start to decrease. And I don't know, I think in about probably 3 weeks we could imagine the fermentation slowing or finishing up, and then we'll transfer this, we'll strain out the raisins and whatever residual bits into another carboy with an airlock again and let it clear, let the yeast settle to the bottom, and then we'll strain it back to bottles with caps. So we'll be back in probably a month or less than that, I would imagine.
Sun. The sun.
See those bubbles? And we'll put the cloth back around it just to block out the sunlight.
The sun.
Let's keep this on
We'll
it.
keep that on.
Keep this on it for now.